Hi folks, today we're headed on a 2.5 hour drive which will bring us to Sault Ste. Marie. Then, after a one-night, rather uneventful stay there, it's another 2.5 hour drive to Blind River, and then...
Ladies and gentlemen, the Traveling Wildberries. We cap off a great video with us enjoying the sights, sounds, and songs of a powwow in Orillia, Ontario.
Our overnight in Sault Ste. Marie was basically just that. Pull up, have supper, then sleep.
The next morning, we got the slow cooker filled with beef, potatoes, carrots, onions, and a stew mix, then took off down the road for a 3-hour ride to Blind River.
Blind River is an interesting little town which is situated on the north channel of Lake Huron in the Algoma district. The town, named after the nearby Blind River, celebrated its centennial in 2006. We felt very comfortable when we stopped here at the beginning of our journey, so we made sure to stop again at this spot on our way home as well.
The name Blind River was adopted by the settlement that grew at the mouth of the river. Blind River's post office was established in 1877. The logging industry developed because of the accessibility of timber along the Blind River and Mississauga watersheds. The industry was spurred by a copper discovery in the mid-19th century in Bruce Mines. The Canadian Pacific Railway arrived in Blind River in 1888, when its Algoma branch was extended westward from Algoma Mills to Sault Ste. Marie.
The stew was hot and ready. It smelled delicious as we set the slow cooker to simmer until we were ready to eat.
In the meantime, as we were setting up our chairs and table, a couple pulled up right beside us.
They mentioned they could smell the stew, and we ended up chatting about this area and their connection to it.
We shared a glass of wine as they sipped the beers they had brought with them.
I decided to fly the drone before it got too dark.
The couple decided they were headed out, so Ken and I served ourselves a nice hot bowl of stew.
We sat around for a bit after we ate, but since we had not scouted out a spot for the overnight, we decided to mosey along while it was still light out in order to be able to keep an eye out for potential spots.
As we were driving along, we noticed a turnoff on the left, which turned out to be Lake Lausanne Beach.
What a nice lake. We parked the RV, and after a nice long walk,
steps,
I decided to go for a swim.
That was pretty much it for the day. It was getting dark, so we decided that since we were going to get an early start in the morning, we would just stay here for the night.
We were on the road by 7 a.m. and no sooner than we hit the first curve in the road, Kathy was out, fast asleep.
After a pit stop for gas, we pulled into our parking spot at the Aurelia Casino around 11:30.
We grabbed our chairs and walked up to the site where the Pow Wow was being held.
Once we paid the admission and entered the gate, we found a spot to sit where we could enjoy the native dances and various ceremonies.
That was fun. At the end of the day, we sauntered back to the RV, dropped off the chairs, and then went inside to try our luck.
Nada, zip, nada. Not lucky enough to hit the jackpot to pay off the expenses for our trip.
Ugh. Darn. Oh well, it was fun. By the time we got back to the RV, it was time for a late supper.
The next day, we decided we were going to do a one-night stay at the RV park just down the road. They had an opening, so we booked the night.
We got settled in and walked around exploring the park. And then later that evening, shortly after we finished up with the barbecue, the sky got ominously dark. And within the next hour or so, we started hearing possible tornado warnings on the radio for this local area.
Not long after that, we got a few of those more serious type emergency warnings on our phones about a tornado that had touched down just over the lake from where we were.
The National Weather Service in Norman has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
It's starting to get a little spooky.
No kidding. By this point, the rain was just pouring down in buckets. and the radio kept repeating the warning every 5 or 10 minutes.
We decided that the concrete washroom slash shower rooms behind us were going to be the place we would head to if things got really bad.
We gathered up a few important things like passports, cash, keys, a flashlight, transistor radio, kitchen sink that we had with us, and put all that into one bag. Imagine that, which we could just grab and go if needed.
We sat in front cab for a while watching the rain pummel the windshield and the bolts of severe-looking lightning that lit up the sky in front of us.
The warnings went on for more than an hour, but the rain and lightning in our immediate area petered out well before that. Apart from the sky being very dark, it would seem that the severe part of the storm had passed.
Thank goodness. We didn't have to make the mad dash for the concrete washroom, but it was nice to know we were ready just in case.
And there you have it. That was it. Another adventure in the books. Come on back to see where we head off to next. Here's a hint. It's a little over an hour drive from here.
See you there. Ciao for now.